Morning, everyone. We're just waiting a few minutes to let everybody come in this morning. All right, we'll just wait one more minute. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started this morning, and we'll have the others catch up as they come in this morning. Welcome, everybody, this morning. My name is Sherry Rupert, and I am the CEO for the American Indian Alaska Native Tourism Association. Thank you all for joining us today for AIANTA's webinar series. Today's webinar is in partnership with the National Tour Association, and it's Unlock Your Travel Business Potential with AIANTA and the National Tour Association. It's my pleasure today to moderate this webinar and introduce NTA and the opportunities we are jointly culminating for our AIANTA membership. For more than 25 years, the American Indian Alaska Native Tourism Association has served as the only national organization dedicated to advancing cultural heritage tourism in Native nations and communities across the United States. Established by tribes for tribes to address inequities in the tourism system, AIANTA is a 501c3 national nonprofit governed by an all-Native board of directors and serves as a united voice for the $15.7 billion Native hospitality sector. AIANTA's mission is to define, introduce, grow, and sustain American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian tourism that honors traditions and values, while helping our American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian-owned businesses become market and export ready for domestic and international markets. Tribes who are looking to start or expand their cultural tourism footprint can find resources at aianta.org, and visitors interested in learning more about Native culture can visit nativeamerica.travel. As I mentioned, we're excited today to share AIANTA's efforts in preparing our members for market readiness, as well as have one of our newest partners, the National Tour Association, introduce themselves and talk more about the benefits of this new partnership. Today, our presenters are Sierra Green, who is AIANTA's Education and Business Development Director, and Catherine Prather, who is the President of the National Tour Association. Sierra is committed to culture and passionate about education and science, a unique skill set in the tourism industry. Sierra works to advance and promote Indigenous communities and their connection to connect travelers. Her commitment to cultural preservation and community empowerment makes her a key advocate in the tourism industry, bridging the gap between Indigenous cultures and global travelers. Our second speaker is Catherine Prather. Catherine has dedicated her professional life to a fulfilling career in the travel industry, first joining the staff of the National Tour Association in 1994 as a media writer. She now serves as president of the organization, whose members create and promote package travel to, from, and within North America. Just a reminder that if you have questions throughout the presentation, please place them in the chat or the question and answer box, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Well, let's get started. And I'll pass it over to our first presenter, Sierra.
Thanks, Bailey. Good morning, everybody. I am calling in from Nimipu Homelands, my Nez Perce Homelands up in north central Idaho. And it is a pleasure to have you all on today, and those who will watch the recording at a later date. You will find this information helpful in moving your business through the market readiness. For those of you who have tuned into our webinars in the past year or so, you've heard us talk about our market readiness initiative. And we're currently adapting the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada, their original accreditation program for members to identify their market readiness. A little bit about the program. The original accreditation is important to travel associations, international tour operators, travel agents, DMOs, local communities, and all others in the industry to promote a quality tourism experience. The program also enables Indigenous tourism businesses to access lucrative travel trade networks and new visitor consumer markets. When you look at the list we have here, business ready, visitor ready, and export ready, this is something that everybody should be able to identify where they're at in the spectrum of market readiness. And this is really to ensure your success along the spectrum of growth, from maybe you're just a startup business to you have visitors that are more from the regional or domestic realm into the export ready, where you have international visitors. And we absolutely encourage folks to consider if that is what you want for your community. And maybe you do just want to stay in the visitor ready space. And that is something that we want to honor as sovereign nations for each of the businesses and members that we have. So I want to take a minute and Sherry Bowman, if you could launch the poll for market readiness. I would like to see of the attendees where you would identify yourself in the market readiness spectrum. With business ready, visitor ready, and export ready. You can preview the descriptions here. And as I mentioned, the business ready is really for startup businesses who are just starting to focus on the local markets. Visitor ready is you're expanding a bit. You've been in business for a couple of years, a minimum of 2 to 3 years, and you have established operational policies and procedures, enabling your business to grow and manage more risk. And then export ready, as I had alluded to, was having the international visitation to your site, and you are readily available and interacting within the greater tourism ecosystem. So it looks like maybe everybody's had a chance to vote. Those may be some that are not applicable to you if this isn't necessarily your realm. So let's go ahead and see those results. Okay, good. So we have a good spread here, which is typically what we see within our membership and those who attend our webinars. About a third are in the business ready realm and moving into the visitor ready realm. And then we have about a third also in the visitor and export ready realm. So it's always good to identify where you're at. Again, that helps us as an organization determine which resources may be best for you and moving your business forward, but also what kind of opportunities there are for you to grow your business. So thinking about growing your business, sorry about that. Whether your business is visitor or export ready, we have resources like Native America.travel for you to utilize in promoting your destination. This is a unique way to connect travelers to American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian destinations. And it connects tribes directly to travelers and features historical, cultural, and outdoor experiences and high impact photographs to invite domestic and international visitors to explore your destinations. It's really a beautiful site that we just relaunched in February. And I want to again launch a poll to see how many of you are currently listed on Native America.travel. So Sherry, can you launch that poll for us? And if you haven't visited the site or you're unsure because maybe you're new to an existing AIANTA member, maybe you have a listing and it needs to be updated. So let's take a look at that poll and see if,
I'm sorry, Sierra, I can't get in there.
okay. Oh, that was
Wait,
the
this
last.
is the first one. I'm trying to get out. It keeps pulling the first one back up.
Okay, I'm not sure if you closed the last poll viewing, but if it's not in there, that is fine.
Yeah, it won't let me get out.
Okay, let's use the chat function, and if you have, I'm not sure I can do that either. Well, we can bypass that, but I really encourage you to go into nativeamerica.travel and not only ensure that you are listed, it's a free opportunity for you to get promotion globally. And that is something that doesn't come free very often. So it's a free service to all of our AIANTA members, which if you look on the map there, you see the red dots, those are AIANTA members. The black dots are those who have taken advantage of the free listing who may not have their AIANTA membership up to date. So please do take time to go in, check your listing. If it needs to be updated, we have a team that will be available to help you do that. But we also encourage you to see who else is in your area that you can maybe start to think about building packages with, developing itineraries, and really building a regional cohesive tourism message that has Indigenous strength within it. That's one of our resources that's available, whether you're business, visitor, or export ready. We do have other opportunities to participate in FAM tours, familiarization tours, which is a great way to have intimate showcasing of your destination to tour operators who typically are bringing in thousands of visitors a year to the US. So don't miss out on those FAM opportunities if one does come your way. AIANTA hosts those in partnership with Brand USA, so we may be reaching out to you if we were coming through your area in the future. The last thing I'll talk about and touch on is travel trade shows. AIANTA has been participating in travel trade shows for over a decade now in different capacities and in different roles. And in the last 2 years that I've been with AIANTA, we've participated in Brand USA Travel Week, which this year it's coming up in October in London. And that's our opportunity as AIANTA to go and promote each of you and your destinations. We present our top 10 list. We present cultural protocols to know before you come to Native communities. And we also encourage folks to visit nativeamerica.travel, which I walk them through how to utilize the website and showcase some of the destinations there. So that's really our opportunity as AIANTA to speak on your behalf as our members to share your destination and promote you internationally. Some other opportunities that have come up is Go West this year or next year in January. It'll be in Palm Springs. We do have a discounted rate for AIANTA members to attend Go West. We will be there as an exhibitor this year in a different capacity, and we will be there to support all of our members in taking their appointments with the international marketplace as well as media. IPW is one of the world's largest travel trade shows, and this or next year it'll happen in Chicago. This year we brought 6 member businesses with us, and another was alongside us in Tribal Row at IPW. We took over 100 appointments, so each of our members in our booth also took over 100 appointments, getting to meet again with international tour operators, travel agents, receptive tour operators, and media to showcase their destinations one-on-one with the folks who we were meeting with. And I can't express enough on the importance of these business meetings. Yes, it may be a 12, 15-minute meeting, but you're able to get your product out in front of some of these folks who are highly interested in Native destinations and experiences, because what we're able to offer is so authentic, so unique, and something that can't be found anywhere else in the world besides in Native communities in the US. And of course, there's Indigenous tourism worldwide, but with our very interesting and complex history of this nation and our pre-existing histories of this land that we all come from, it's interesting for folks to come in and really be engaged and interested in how to get their clients into our communities to learn from us, the original stewards of land. So with that, I will mention travel exchange, and this is something that we'll dive into more after we get a little more information from Sherry Rupert on our partnership with NTA and NTA itself with Catherine Prather. With that, I'll pass it back over to you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sierra. Thanks for that information. We're very excited to introduce a new partnership between AIANTA and the National Tour Association. This partnership is a unique collaboration that aims to expand cultural tourism opportunities for both of our memberships. By combining our expertise, we're supporting tourism professionals in growing their networks, your networks, and accessing new resources. Our collaboration emphasizes key values such as sustainability, inclusivity, collaboration, and innovation. These principles guide our efforts to create meaningful opportunities for growth and learning within the tourism industry. With this partnership, we have set specific goals to enhance the value we provide to our members. First, we aim to increase awareness of Native nations and destinations among NTA's community of travel professionals. This is crucial for fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation of Native cultures and heritage. Second, we will focus on educating NTA members on how to do business with Native-owned enterprises and how to sell Native-made products. This education helps ensure that cultural tourism is conducted respectfully and authentically. And lastly, we want to strengthen the connections between AIANTA and NTA members, providing more opportunities for collaboration and new business ventures. By working together, we can create an inclusive and dynamic tourism industry. So at this time, I am very happy to introduce Catherine of the National Tour Association, and then we'll provide more information about how AIANTA members will benefit from this partnership. So turning it over to you, Catherine.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sherry and Ciara and everyone within the AIANTA community. And I'm coming to you from Kentucky, and I want to acknowledge the Shawnee, Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Osage who have long called Kentucky home. And it's just such an honor to be here. I'm very excited about this relationship as well. And I want to start by, oh, I advanced a little too far here, providing you with some information about our association, because you on the call may not be aware of our association, but we are a community of top quality tour operators, receptive operators, and DMCs of all sizes, as well as their partnering hotels, restaurants, attractions, experience providers, transportation companies, and destinations. And those include local and convention visitors bureaus, provincial, regional, and even national tourism offices. And as an association, we facilitate online and in-person business gatherings, and we create opportunities for peer-to-peer learning and collaboration, because that is so important to us. As Sherry mentioned, a part of the relationship is all about education and information for professional development. Very important to NTA. And our membership is predominantly US based. However, we have members in 30 countries. So our tour and receptive operators are packaging group and FIT travel to, from, and within North America, as Ciara mentioned earlier. So, one thing that I always like to share is this map, because it shows how our membership is spread across the US. And this also closely mirrors our travel exchange attendance. And Travel Exchange is our business appointment show, and I'll share more about that in just a few minutes. But it's at this event that you'll see delegates from across the country and Canada and Mexico and internationally. And I'll take this opportunity to mention that 80% of NTA's tour operators only attend our show. So you will see different buyers, qualified buyers at our events. And I am often asked about the difference between NTA and other associations. And this is how I like to describe our defining differences. You know, NTA is focused on tour operator package travel, and the association is home to professional tour companies of all sizes, as I mentioned, serving travelers of all ages with a wide range of needs and desires. And we vet our tour companies that want to join the association. We check first that they are for-profit companies, so these are not group leaders, and that they are actively packaging travel. And we also verify that they are carrying the required insurance limits. And we do this upon renewal every year, because it's important that on the travel exchange floor, you're sitting across from tour operators who are looking to create tours and packages, rather than a seller or a motor coach company, for example, who really is there to sell their services to operators. So it's important that we vet those companies, but we're also very focused on creating a healthy tour and package travel segment by facilitating those opportunities for meaningful, quality business connections. And this is also through relevant and timely knowledge and information sharing. We also keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening in our world, and finding ways to bring important issues and topics of the day to our members. And that would include the support for NTA's official nonprofit, Tourism Cares, and its wonderful work with meaningful, responsible travel. Our ongoing work, as Sherry mentioned, with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then also another example would be the exclusive track that we provided on using AI for travel that we just recently held at our spring tour operator retreat. It's all about taking our members to the next level. And I know this partnership will help do that. You know, another defining difference is our NTA community. In a survey earlier this year, we asked members to tell us how they describe NTA. And over the words welcoming, family, community, integrity, and caring were cited. And that's what we, as the team that you know, with dedication runs NTA, that's what we strive to embody. Yet it's the NTA community, our members, who are the essence of our association. So as a part of that community, you're going to develop partnerships and relationships and even friendships with trusted colleagues and contacts. And from that evolves those meaningful and relevant information and ideas. And you're going to gain access to that both in person and online. You also have a voice, and hopefully you provide that voice through advancement and advocacy on issues that really matter to our members, our association, and our industry. And of course, all roads lead to business. And at NTA, we encourage members to support and consider doing business with members before looking at individuals outside the NTA community. But we're also keen on innovation, so everyone continues to evolve with the times. And because NTA has long focused on the future and helping its members to be their best selves professionally and personally, you're part of an organization with respect for people and the planet, which leads to NTA's core values. And our core values were revised by our DEI advisory group, along with the mission statement. And what you're seeing on the screen was ratified by the NTA board and presented to the membership in 2022. I think these are just so important because these are the guiding force for all of the staff's work, but also for our leadership, our board, and our committees and advisory groups. So these are not just words; these are extremely important core values for our association. So That was a brief overview of NTA, and I now want to share a bit more about Travel Exchange. And this year we're going to be in Huntsville, Alabama, Rocket City, November 17 through 20. And Travel Exchange is it's a business-to-business gathering. It is B2B, and one of the most important aspects are the pre-scheduled business appointments. We call ourselves the right-sized show because we have the right number of attendees so that there's ample business, but there's not so many that you're just lost. We really do focus on quality over quantity. We currently have attendees from 20 countries, 45 states, and 6 Canadian provinces, and that is growing every week. And our attendees do include tour and receptive operators and DMCs as well, hotels, restaurants, attractions, experience providers, cruise companies, motor coach operators, insurance providers, tech companies, and destinations. It is just a wide range of top quality business professionals for you to connect with. And we also have highly rated educational sessions on topics that are curated with member assistance. And then we also look to focus on peer-to-peer learning and discussions because our members rate that very high. We have a lot of member panelists, industry professionals, because they like to have that kind of education. We have an awesome exhibit floor where you can meet our sponsoring attendees, grab food or drink at our refreshment sponsors. We always have a local crafters market to support the local community. And this year we are launching our Route 66 celebration. And this is in advance of the centennial celebration for the route, which is in 2026. But operators need the product now so that they can market and sell it for 2026. So we've got just all states are represented on the route. So I'm very excited about that. And also so new that it's not on the slide is our celebration of cultural tourism. It's a dinner, and it is in collaboration with the Green Book Experience and AIANTA. And this dinner is included with your Travel Exchange registration. And if you hear me perhaps say Trex every now and then, that is the beloved nickname that our members have given Travel Exchange. It's been shortened to Trex. So you may hear that said every now and then. So we always have a half day of sightseeing at the front end of our conference, and that's for all attendees. It's a great way to not only explore the city, but also to meet fellow attendees. I think that's just a great way for some organic networking to happen. And in Huntsville, we'll have 2 pre-fam tours, and those are available to multi-day tour operators. And those one is focused on the southern aspect of Alabama, and then we have one that is focused on the civil rights aspect. Both going to be great tours. And of course, we have parties, but those are for networking, right? So we definitely like to have fun as well. So speaking of events, our opening event, which we call our icebreaker, that's going to be held at the Huntsville Botanical Garden. So it's not going to look like this. This is a seasonal picture from spring, summer. It'll be decked out for the lights for the holidays. In fact, they're going to do a special abbreviated tour for our attendees of their lights display during our icebreaker. And then our closing event will be held at the amazing Space and Rocket Center. So what I want to talk about now is AIANTA and NTA are introducing this partnership. And as a first-year offer, NTA has created special packages with really significant savings on membership through 2025, because like AIANTA's membership, our memberships do run January to December. So we have the remaining of 2024 and all of 2025. So basically offers there, and then you could also add Travel Exchange registration. But for our tour operator membership, and this is for a company that is creating and selling tours and packages, and whether that be a one-day or a multi-day package, that is literally only $500 through 2025, and typically that's going to be much higher, so that is a significant savings. And then some options for travel exchange as a tour operator, and this would be as a buyer, and I think most everyone here is probably going to be a seller. So I won't go into a great deal on these, but we have someone who could participate as a full appointment taking buyer, and that would be 100 plus appointments. So that is someone who would want to meet with suppliers and DMOs from across the US and Canada and abroad. That registration is actually comped. If you want a limited number of appointments, perhaps you're a tour operator buyer, but you operate only regionally, well, then you could do our direct request option, which is you hand select 30 plus appointments, and you'll see the savings there and the special offer for IANTA. And then if you're a tour operator, but you want to sell your experiences to an NTA multi-day tour operator, so that that company can incorporate that into their multi-day itineraries, I think this may hit the mark for most of you. You'll see that we have a special offer of half of that price at only $750, which, as I said, is and actually that's less than half because our pricing now is at $17.95. And then if you include membership through 2025, you see that that would only be $1,250, which frankly is less than even coming as a seller. So these are just special offers, but we also want to do that for a tour supplier or a destination. And in NTA's world, a tour supplier is going to be your hotel, your restaurant, your attraction, your experience provider. And you'll see those pricings up here on the screen as well. And these packages are for an entity that has a single property. And if you have multiple properties, it would be a different price. But once again, these are significant savings because we want to really introduce the partnership and have as many IANTA members as possible to join us at Travel Exchange. And we're also providing a booth to IANTA, so you will have a home where you can be when you're not in appointments or not in some of the educational sessions that all happen right on the floor, or perhaps visiting with some of the other sponsor booths. So as I'm wrapping up, I just want to share the dates and locations for other upcoming events. And you'll see on here a reference to contact. That is our tour operator retreat that I mentioned really briefly earlier. And it's also a fantastic event. It's smaller than Travel Exchange, and it's without the pre-scheduled business appointments. But the focus is on organic networking and peer-to-peer learning and connections and education and local sightseeing and product development, focused primarily on the operator, but suppliers and destinations come as sponsors for that event. So that is, Sherry, all that I had. So I will toss it back to you, and happy to answer any questions or however we want to proceed.
Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that. All of that amazing information and the amazing opportunity that NTA is offering to our members. As you can see, there's an abundance of opportunities that NTA offers. As a recap to what Catherine just shared, the exciting aspects of our partnership is the exclusive membership benefits we're offering to IANTA members. Members can take advantage of a special NTA membership offer that extends through December 2025. This includes discounted rates for participating in the Travel Exchange, as Catherine described, a premier event for networking and making business appointments with tour operators and suppliers. Additionally, there are rebates and special offers available on Travel Exchange registration fees, providing a cost-effective way to engage with potential partners and clients. Our partnership is also packed with exciting events and collaboration opportunities. Travel Exchange is one of these key events. It provides an unparalleled opportunity to network and schedule business appointments with a wide range of tour operators and suppliers. We will also host joint webinars and educational sessions. These co-hosted events are designed to bring together members from both organizations to share knowledge, best practices, and learn from each other's experiences. And that's what I find when, going to these conventions, conferences, shows, is that, just having that networking opportunity with the people that are there. I mean, you just never know who you're going to meet or who you're going to run into. I met so many people just like at lunchtime, sitting and talking to people and exchanging cards, and it ends up in a conversation, and then potentially a partnership. And so anyway, that's been my experience. So with that, we'd like to begin our promotional outreach with NTA in the coming weeks. If you're interested in these opportunities, please be sure to keep an eye out for how to take those next steps. And as attendees of this webinar, you will receive direct email communications regarding all the we've outlined in the webinar today.
And Sherry, I did see that there was one question in the chat, and I'm happy to answer in the chat, or I don't know if you want me to respond verbally. Happy to do either.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and respond here. So it looks like, is there a cutoff date to sign up?
So for our appointment scheduling opens on September 24th. So you can definitely register after that, because appointment scheduling will stay open for several weeks, but we just want to make sure that you will get in order to make appointments. So, by September 24th is perhaps best, but there's absolutely opportunity after that, because there's still time to go in and select your appointments after that.
Okay. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or the question and answer box. One of the questions I had, Catherine, because I saw one of your photos, and I think it's probably a very important question, is why does Huntsville call themselves Rocket City?
It is the Space and Rocket Center primarily, but they do have that is an amazing facility that is their largest attraction for not only Huntsville, but I believe maybe even for the state. But they do have a lot to do with NASA and space training, so it's not just an attraction. It is an actual facility for space travel. So that is why it's Rocket City.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Sierra, I have a really just kind of an add-on to the comments that Catherine made in regard to Route 66 and the celebration that's coming up in a few years. You've been working on some itineraries, so I'd like to see if you can expand on that for everyone here.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry and Captain Bull, for mentioning Route 66. For those of you who know, now everybody does, that Route 66 Centennial is happening in 2026. And last year, when this started to become a conversation at the travel trade shows and within the industry, we wanted to ensure that native destinations were on the purview of international tour operators who will be building these Centennial packages for Route 66. And so we began to envision and develop now familiarization or fam tours along Route 66 in partnership with Brand USA to showcase native destinations. And so our preliminary fam will be going from Las Vegas to Albuquerque. And instead of staying, and everybody laughs when I say this, but instead of staying on I-40 between Flagstaff and Albuquerque to see the back end of a semi, we're going to reroute a bit and go up into the beautiful nations of Navajo and Hopi, and possibly over into Zuni and Acoma, and see some of those native destinations to highlight, these ancient trade routes that pre-existed before Route 66, and to showcase what else there's to see along Route 66, especially that stretch. Not to say it's not beautiful. I lived in the area and traveled that quite frequently back in my college days, but there's so much more to see by taking a little alternate route to Route 66, but many will enjoy that experience, especially the international tour operators will be bringing in and who may have not had anything necessarily or much less on their itinerary without taking this alternate route. So FAM tours are a great way to showcase destinations. And we're also looking at a Route 66 FAM for next year, location to be announced later.
Great. Thank you, Sierra. Catherine?
I was just say that's fantastic. I love hearing about that. And Cher, I think that would be a great thing for you to have information about that at the AIANTA booth, which will complement everything else we're doing about Route 66. And it is so important because we did a survey of our tour companies, and believe it or not, there are a lot who weren't aware of the centennial coming up. And perhaps they didn't even have tours in those areas, but because of this, it gives them a hook for those destinations. And I think also putting on display the indigenous aspect of it gives them yet another hook to offer tours to that area. So a lot of our tour companies said because of this, they now would look to develop product to those areas. So that was exciting to hear.
Yeah, that's good. I know that I've been invited to do a session at Travel Exchange, and so that's definitely something that we'll share with the audience while we're there as well. So I wanted to also, Catherine, ask you about, I know I've been to Travel Exchange before, and I've noticed that there is indigenous tourism product that is there and is supporting your organization. I just wanted to know, what are some things that NTA is looking at, we're to include more indigenous product, education as well on working with our Native nations and communities. I think that this partnership that we're culminating here is going to be a great step forward.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important things is bringing awareness to the availability of these authentic experiences and this rich cultural product. I think that's step one, because when we ask our tour operators if they're hearing from their clients, are they asking for more meaningful travel experiences? 97% of our tour companies say yes. And when they ask them to define, well, what do you mean by meaningful travel experiences? The first thing is that it's authentic, that it is supporting small businesses, and that it is introducing people to the local community. But then also they want to leave a destination better than when they arrived. So I think all of this comes, or it really is very paralleled with AIANTA's mission and what you're looking to achieve, and just the very essence and spirit of indigenous travel. So one of the reasons I'm very excited about this partnership is because it's bringing the education that you all have, the way to pay homage to a particular place when you visit, and that there are certain experiences that are sacred to indigenous community, and you may not be able to experience it, but this is what it's about, so that people can open their eyes and broaden their horizons about just the rich experiences and culture that we do have in this country. So awareness building to me is really important, and then accessibility to the travel professionals who can help our members integrate that into their product.
Great. And so for tour operators out there, because I think we have probably the continuum on today with us, people that are just starting out and with their tours, and some that are more seasoned, have been around a while. What advice would you give those tour operators on either end?
So we talk a lot in the association, as I mentioned, with peer-to-peer collaboration. And one thing that I mentioned too is that the word caring kept coming up when people were describing NTA. And it's something that I've heard is unique to NTA because it's a business community, but it's a community where the members actually care about one another and they want to help someone get better at their business. So I really think one of the main things is don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you don't know something, just ask, because you're going to be talking to someone else who may have the same question, or a veteran who has been there, and they are so willing to help you understand or to help you grow your business. So number one is like, don't be afraid to ask questions and to just go up to someone and say hello and seek out a relationship. We at our association too do a lot of mentoring or offering videos or one-on-ones with veterans that speak to someone who is new to the business, because during COVID, we had an institutional knowledge loss. And we also had a lot of entrepreneurs coming on board that didn't necessarily grow up in the industry in a traditional way. So I think it is really important to feel comfortable in saying that you're learning, that you don't know something, and that you have questions, and to take the time to do webinars like this, and to do the other webinar series that AIANTA offers. If you join our association, look at our other videos as well, because that's just going to help you grow.
I think that's great advice, and we always give that advice as well to non-native people or tour operators or media, that are interested in Indigenous tourism and coming out to our nations and communities, and just letting them know that, hey, it's okay to ask questions. There's no there's no wrong question. And it's all about, gaining knowledge. And as long as you let the people know that, hey, I'm interested, I want to learn more, can you tell me more? I think is a good way, of course, to learn. And what I found in across the tourism industry is that it's probably one of the friendliest industries there is, right? We're all in tourism. We're all out there for customer service and enhancing that visitor experience. And so, yeah, I mean, I would agree, like ask questions and keep in contact with people. And I often do that. I'll meet somebody, keep their card, get in contact with them, and then if I have a question like specific maybe to their industry, or whether it be a tour operator or media, I'll shoot them, that question, because I've built that relationship with them.
Yeah, we have a comprehensive first timers program for first time attendees at Travel Exchange, where in advance of the show, we send what we call newbies notes, which are just really explaining the show to help everyone understand it. We have webinars in advance. Then on the first day of the show, we have a tour by a veteran. His name's Clayton Whitehead. He's just an amazing person, just very exuberant. He gives a special tour to our first timers. Then we also have a reception just for our first timers. And then we take that group as a little group to our icebreaker together. We have a first timers dinner that everyone is welcome. It's, pay on your own, but it's getting that group together. Because and everyone who's a first timer, we ask them to wear a ribbon. It's a pink ribbon, and it gives you, it's like, hey, I'm a first timer. I get to ask you any question. And it's funny, people like to wear that on their second show too. But it's just a way for us to warmly welcome the first timers and make sure that they know, hey, ask us any questions and we're happy to help.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, because you kind of go into the show, knowing somebody, and being able to see, that friendly face. Because sometimes these shows can be intimidating. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
people there. Might be your first time, so you don't know what to expect as far as the appointments are concerned. And I think Sierra does a really good job of that as well in preparing our members for the shows as well. She spends a lot of time teaching them or guiding them on, their pitch, their elevator pitch, or their appointment pitch, and getting their one together. And just trying to answer all of their questions before we even get there. So yeah, I think that's a really great program, a great way to welcome your newbies.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm glad you do that too, Sierra. It is important. You want everyone to feel welcomed and to be able to do their best business, because frankly, that just helps everyone.
I do see Ron has his hand raised. I'm not sure if we're able to utilize that function to hear from him.
Let's see. I don't see Ron.
Jerry Bowman, that may take your assistant.
Yeah. Or Ron, if you could put it in the chat or the question and answer.
Hi, Ron.
There we go.
Oh, there's Ron. If you can unmute yourself, Ron.
Sorry about that. I was just kind of clicking around and hit the raised hand by mistake.
Well, we're happy you're on with us today, Ron. You've been a huge supporter of IANTA as well.
Well,
Ron,
I enjoy both of the associations. I laud you for, doing this cooperation. I think it's, you take the benefits from both of your groups to bring them together, which is what the tourism industry is all about.
yeah. Well, thanks, Ron. Thanks for joining today.
Sure. Thanks for
It's
allowing
great
me to be.
It's great to hear your voice, Ron.
Thanks, Catherine.
Okay. Well, if there aren't any more questions, if you're not a member of IANTA, we would love to have you as well. We can visit our website at ianta.org/membership. And so to wrap this up, here are a few more notes from our IANTA team. They wanted me to remind you that aside from webinars like this, we offer online resources for free, including the Cultural Heritage Tourism Planner, which you see on the left here, which provides stories of the many tribes, native business owners, and other hospitality professionals who are taking control of their narratives, elevating their culture bearers, reclaiming their histories, and driving better economic opportunities for their citizens while doing so. The companion resource that you see in the middle here is for engaging responsible visitors through your story, a project we completed in partnership with Leave No Trace. And then on the right, the Travel Trade Manual was designed to help Indigenous tourism professionals understand and navigate group travel and working with all levels of trade suppliers. So again, those can be found on our website. And then we want to invite you to join us for our 26th annual American Indigenous Tourism Conference that will be hosted by the Tunica Biloxi Tribe at the Paragon Casino Resort, October 28th through the 31st. If you haven't registered yet, I would urge you to register before August 31st to take advantage of our standard pricing and for a chance to win an overnight stay during the conference. So we have, I believe, 2 additional overnight stays. So we're going to be picking 2 names. They'll each get 1 night a piece. But after the 31st, our pricing goes up for registration. So be sure that you get that accomplished. And again, I just want to thank you for joining us today for this very important webinar, hearing from Sierra and from Catherine, our newest partner. I want to thank them again for participating as well. And just want to say thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.